Most change initiatives fail because leadership forgets one simple truth. People don't hate change, they hate being changed. You can have the most expensive software in the world or a brilliant new strategy, but if your team on the ground doesn't buy into it, your project is basically dead on arrival. This is the wall that almost every project manager and organizational leader hits eventually. You shout from the rooftops about how great the new system is, but all you hear back is silence, or worse, complaining in the break room. In this video, we are going to fix that. We are going to look at the secret weapon of successful companies, the change agent network. I'm going to show you exactly how to build a team of internal champions who do the heavy lifting for you. We're going to cover 5 specific steps: defining your purpose, finding the right people, giving them the tools they need, keeping them excited, and measuring your results so you can keep getting better. By the end of this, you'll know how to stop pushing change uphill and start leading a movement that people actually want to join. Before we get into the steps, we have to understand what a change agent network actually is. Think of it as a decentralized team. These aren't necessarily managers or directors. In fact, it's often better if they aren't. They are a group of employees from all different levels of the company who act as a bridge. On one side, you have the leadership team who knows the big picture. On the other side, you have the employees who are doing the day-to-day work. Usually, there's a massive gap between these two groups. The change agent network fills that gap. Why do we need this? Because of the grassroots advantage. When a CEO stands on a stage and says, "We are changing our workflow," employees often think, "Here we go again, another corporate headache." But when the person sitting in the next cubicle says, "Hey, I tried this new system and it actually makes my Friday reports way faster," people listen. Trust moves horizontally, not vertically. If you want your project to survive, you need people on the ground who are trusted by their peers to say, "This is actually a good idea." The biggest mistake you can make is starting a network without knowing exactly what you want it to do. You can't just grab 10 people and say, "Go make people happy about the new update." That's a recipe for confusion. You have to start by asking the big why. Are you rolling out a new piece of technology? Are you trying to change the entire company culture? Or are you just trying to fix one specific process in the shipping department? If the why isn't clear, your agents won't know what to say when their coworkers ask them tough questions. You need to set clear objectives. For example, a successful objective might be, by the end of Q3, 90% of the sales team should be using the new CRM daily without needing technical support. Now your agents have a target. You also need to map out where the influence is needed. If the change only affects the accounting department, don't recruit people from marketing. You need to look at the impact zone. Who is actually going to feel the pain of this change? That's where your network needs to live. If you don't define the scope, your agents will feel overwhelmed and like they're responsible for everything, which leads to burnout before the project even starts. Now, how do you find these people? This is where most leaders get it wrong. They often pick the person with the highest job title or the person who has been at the company the longest. That's a mistake. You don't want the person with the most power, you want the person with the most influence. Influence is different from authority. Think about your own office. Who is the person that everyone goes to when they have a question? Who is the person everyone talks to during the lunch break? Who is the one that people naturally trust? That's your change agent. They might be a junior developer or a front desk coordinator. Their title doesn't matter. What matters is that when they speak, people listen. When you're looking for agents, you need to check for 3 things. First, are they respected by their peers? If you pick someone who everyone dislikes, your change initiative is going to be associated with that person's bad reputation. Second, do they have good communication skills? They need to be able to explain things simply without getting frustrated. Third, and most importantly, do they actually want to do it? You cannot force someone to be a change agent. If they aren't excited about the change themselves, they will be terrible at convincing others. Make the recruitment process transparent. Don't just send a mysterious email, explain what the role is, and more importantly, what's in it for them. Tell them it's a chance to build their leadership skills, to get noticed by senior management, and to help shape the future of the company. You want people who see this as a professional opportunity, not just another task on their to-do list. You've found your team, but you can't just throw them into the fire. You have to give them a toolkit. Imagine sending a carpenter to build a house without a hammer or a saw. That's what it's like when you ask an agent to lead change without training them. The first thing they need is the business case. They need to know the deep details of why this change is happening. If a coworker asks, "Why are we switching to this new software? The old one worked fine?" The agent needs a better answer than, "Because the boss said so." They need to be able to say, "The old system was losing us 3 hours a week in data entry, and this new one fixes that, which means less overtime for us." Next, give them a physical or digital toolkit. This should include a list of frequently asked questions, some talking points they can use in meetings, and maybe even a few cheat sheets or videos they can share with their teams. You also need to teach them how to handle resistance. This is the hardest part of the job. Some people are going to be angry about the change. They might be rude or dismissive. Your agents need to know how to stay calm, how to listen to those concerns, and how to bring those concerns back to you. They aren't there to win arguments. They are there to solve problems and smooth things over. A change agent network isn't a set it and forget it kind of thing. It's a community. If you just train them once and never talk to them again, they'll stop caring. You need to keep them engaged. Set up a dedicated communication channel for them. Maybe it's a private Slack channel, a Microsoft Teams group, or a monthly lunch meeting. This gives them a place to talk to each other. Often, an agent in one department will find a solution to a problem that an agent in another department is currently struggling with. When they talk to each other, they solve problems faster than you ever could. You also need to recognize their hard work. Being a change agent can be stressful. They are often the ones catching the heat from their unhappy coworkers. Make sure you celebrate their wins. This could be a shout-out in the company newsletter, a Change Champion Award, or even just a handwritten thank you note from the CEO. Small gestures go a long way in making people feel like their extra effort is actually being seen. Most importantly, create a two-way feedback loop. Your agents are your eyes and ears on the ground. They are going to hear things that you will never hear. They might come to you and say, "Hey, everyone in the logistics department is really confused about step 4 of the new process." When they tell you that, you have to listen and you have to act. If they give you feedback and nothing changes, they'll stop giving you feedback. But if they see that their input is actually shaping the project, they will feel a massive sense of ownership and pride. How do you know if the network is actually working? You can't just go by vibes, you need data. This is the part where you go back to those objectives you set in step 1. Are people actually using the new system? Has the number of support tickets gone down? Are employees reporting higher satisfaction in surveys? Collect feedback from both the agents and the regular employees. Ask the agents, what's the biggest hurdle you're facing right now? Ask the employees, do you feel like you have enough support during this transition? Use this information to find where the gaps are. Maybe you'll find that the agents in the warehouse are doing great, but the agents in the office are struggling. That tells you that you might need to provide extra training or different resources specifically for the office team. Change isn't a straight line. It's a series of adjustments. Don't be afraid to change your strategy if the data shows that something isn't working. The goal is constant improvement. Even with a great network, you're going to hit a wall eventually. That wall is usually change fatigue. This happens when a company tries to change too many things at once. People get tired. They stop caring about the why and just start waiting for the next big project to replace this one. When this happens, your agents are the first ones to burn out. They feel like they're constantly pushing people who don't want to move. This is the climax of the change process. It's the moment where the project either succeeds and becomes the new normal, or it fails and everyone goes back to their old ways. The key to getting through this moment is empathy. Your agents need to know that you understand how hard this is. Give them a break if they need it. Remind them of the small wins. Sometimes, we get so focused on the big goal that we forget to celebrate the fact that we just had a week with 0 errors, or that one person who used to be a huge skeptic finally started using the new tool. These small moments are what keep the momentum going when things get tough. Building a change agent network isn't just about finishing one project. It's about building a better company. When you create a group of people who are skilled at leading change, you are making your organization more agile. The world is moving faster than ever, and companies that can adapt are the ones that disappear. By investing in these people, you are creating a culture where change is seen as an opportunity rather than a threat. You're empowering your employees to be leaders, regardless of their job title, That's how you build a resilient business that can survive whatever the market throws at it next. It's easy to think of change management as just a series of checklists and spreadsheets, but at its heart, it's about people. It's about trust, communication, and community. When you build a powerful change agent network, you aren't just managing a project, you're leading people toward a better way of working. If you found these steps helpful and want to dive deeper into how to lead your team through big transitions, make sure to visit Mychangemanagement.com for more guides and tools. We have a lot of resources specifically designed for change leaders and project managers who want to make a real impact. Subscribe to My Change Management for more strategies on leading your team through any organizational shift.